Hey, Grand Rising, everybody. Thank you guys for jumping on. As you see this video, do me a favor, wherever you are and whatever time you're seeing it from, drop your city and state and also drop the time that you see this. My name is Eric, and this is the Blanks Spot. We are a sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer supplier located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. But more importantly, guys, we're business owners. So I want you guys to do me a favor, like the video, share the video. Um, Also, make sure you lock in with us on our social media handles. We are on YouTube. It is the Blanks Spot, and also Facebook, as well as the Blank Spot, and TikTok and Instagram as well. All the Blank Spot. If you happen to find us, make sure you follow us, lock in, go to YouTube, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified, so that you'll know when we go live. I'm liable to go live anytime of the day, morning, noon, night. And if the information that we share with you is valuable, you find it important, then definitely lock in, because you never know what you may miss, or you never know what you may be able to see on a replay. You can always see our videos on replays on YouTube for free, and have lots of other training, documentation, tutorials, and demonstrations as well. So, like I said, we are a sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer supplier. But first and foremost, we are business owners. What does that mean, and what does it look like? Um, we are we're in this thing to actually run and operate a business, because we know the value that a business gives to our household, and we understand the complexities of the economy. We also understand that things are not getting better. So about 10 years ago, after retiring from the military, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I decided, I wasn't going back to work. I wasn't going to get a job. My wife did work, but I decided I didn't want to work anymore. And even though, I had retired from the military and receiving retirement benefits, it just wasn't enough to offset the lifestyle that we were used to having. We were introduced to business at the ripe age of about 40, I want to say 42, I was, when I was first introduced to business and actual what a business was and how it actually worked. And I got to tell you, man, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with it because of the implications of tax benefits and things like that, and the idea that there's no salary cap, and also the freedom that you can get from starting and owning a business and running a business. So fast forward, we started a sublimation blanks store right in the middle of the pandemic, and I'm going to tell you, it was scary. While we were running our other business, which was in-person type business, a hands-on with people type business, we actually own a financial education business as well. But when you're talking about finances, people want to talk about that in person. They don't care if it's 50 cents or $5,000. They want to talk about it in person. So that business kind of got paused because of the pandemic, and we could no longer meet in person. Meanwhile, my wife was already dabbling in the crafting industry. She was already creating things, not just shirts. She was creating cups and blankets and pillowcases and all types of other handcrafts, and she was really into it. And we decided that she had already started a business after that. We had decided, okay, you know what? It's time to up our game. It's time to do something that's going to make more sense to us. So we created what people know now as the Blanks Spot. And the Blank Spot, once again, is a sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer supplier. Now, however, it wasn't always that. And I got to tell you, one of the scariest things was not starting the business. One of the scariest things was probably when my wife and we decided that she was going to walk away from her job. That was one of the scariest things. But I'm not here to tell you about quitting your job. We're not going to talk about that. Just a little backstory on us and how we ended up where we are right now. Here's what I want to talk to you about, though. I want to talk to you about how to turn your hobby into honey. And no, I did not. That's not a typo. That's not a misspell. Honey, using that term, honey, for money. Um, there's lots of people out there that's struggling. No matter what tax bracket you're in, No matter how much money you're currently making, there's lots of people out there that are struggling. From the mid 5 figure earners to the high 6 and low 7 figure earners, people are struggling financially. Why? Because of one thing and one thing only: lack of understanding of what your resources can do for you. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how money works and from a different angle from what you're probably used to hearing us talk about. Usually, when you come on here, we're talking about, hey, either our products and our services, or we're talking about, hey, you know what, you really should start a business. I'm going to talk to you from an economic standpoint. Not that I'm an economic major, not that I'm a financial major, not that I'm a business major. This is just what we do. The one thing that I've seen since I've been in this crafting industry, since I've gotten involved, is that there are a lot of people that are talented at what they do. A lot of people who love making arts. They love being an artisan. They love crafting. They love making, whether it's apparel to include t-shirts, hoodies, crew necks, jackets, whether they're doing it from scratch, embroidery, just sewing all together, or whether they're using transfers to make them, whether they're making cups with UV transfers, or whether they're sublimating cups, whether they're making bags. Like I said, whether doing it from scratch, people are very talented. But what people are also is that they're misinformed. And I'm here to talk to you about why you should consider turning your hobby into honey. See, the economy is not getting any better. It's not. Here we are at 2025, and more jobs have been lost, or just as many jobs have been lost in this economy with no pandemic than the ones that were lost during the pandemic. Now, I don't have all the stats and all the numbers for you to go back and look up, but I recommend that you go and do your own research and you find out what's going on. So I encourage you, first and foremost, to take care of yourself and your family. You may currently be working a job, and that job may be doing whatever it is supposed to be doing for you. It may be providing health care, dental. You may have some type of insurance under that life insurance under that business. You may be making some decent money. But here's the thing: the dollar in this country is losing spending power every day. Meaning simply, the $20 that you used to be able to take and go to the grocery store and put a lot of things in your cart, you can't do that today. You can't do it with $100. You can't do it with two $100 bills. Your spending power, your buying power is getting smaller and smaller, which means there's two options that you have. What's a couple of options that you have? You can continue to do what you're doing and hope for the best. You can get an extra job or try to get more hours on your current job, or you can start you a business on the side. Now, I'm not talking about a full-time business. You may call it a side hustle, but I'm talking about something part-time from what you're currently doing. Here's the thing: many of you are already skilled at something. Many of you already can make things. That's not the problem. The problem is not making things or learning how to make things. The issue is understanding how a business structure works, what a business is, and how a business can benefit you. I was reading an article a while back when I first started in business, and there was this Asian guy, very popular. And I can't really tell you where he was from. I don't really remember. But the quote was simple as this: a monkey, if you offer a monkey a banana or money, that monkey is going to take the banana every time. Why? Because the monkey doesn't know that it can buy more bananas with money. Now, I'm not calling anybody monkeys on here, but that's an analogy that I want you to think about. You can offer a person a job, which is a right now thing, or you can say, hey, you know what? You can start a business and make unlimited money or additional money. And a person generally will take that job every time because in their mind, they're thinking job security. Well, if the last couple of years hasn't shown you anything, I want you to think about this. Jobs are not secure. The word or the term job security is an oxymoron. It's not your job unless you created it, and it's never going to be secure. These companies will drop you faster than you can sneeze if it's going to save themselves, their families, their bonuses, and their livelihood. So now it's up to you to consider what you're going to do in addition to what you're currently doing. Nobody's saying to walk away from your job. That would be probably the most ludicrous thing that anybody can say. Hey, go out there and start a business and fire your boss. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that because you need health care. You need your dental and your medical care. You get days off at your job. You get holidays off for most people. You get sick time. What's that? You get PTO, personal time off. So I'm not telling you to trade one for the other. I'm saying that if you're currently not making the amount of money or bringing home the amount of resources that you need to live the lifestyle that you want, or even to get ahead, then starting a business on the side is going to be beneficial to you, especially if you already have a skill set. Now, I already know, man, people think that, crafting, making t-shirts is not a real business. I get it. I understand. But it's something about exchanging a product for a service or a service for money. It's something about someone made an item, a cup, a shirt, a bag, and they sell that and they make real money. Now it's important that you understand the structures and the implications, the positive implications behind business ownership. I don't know if you guys noticed, but more and more tax benefits are being given to the wealthy. Now, before you guys just, turn the channel and just, shut me down, I want y'all to think about this. I said I was going to be talking about something different in a different format. So I want you to understand this. More and more tax benefits are being given to the wealthy. More and more wealthy people are going to be identified as business owners. Now, you can get the same or even more, in some cases, tax benefits from being a business owner, a small business owner, or a home-based business owner. But because we are afraid of what people are going to say, our family and friends, we're afraid of what people are going to say at our jobs, we're afraid that we're going to fail. What happens is we don't equip ourselves with the information and the knowledge that we need to go forward and do great things. Making money is easy. You got an option. You can continue doing what you're doing. You can ask for a raise on your job. Let's see how that goes. You can ask for more hours on your jobs. And I know one company in particular, because I have been doing my research, one company in particular is barely giving their employees work, barely scheduling their employees right now due to due to boycotts. Or what you can do is you can start you something on the side. I don't care what you call it. You can call it your side gig. You can call it your side hustle. You can call it your side business. You can call it your part-time lover. I don't care. But what you have to do, this is non-negotiable. You have to understand the tax laws and how it benefits you as far as becoming a person or a company, an entity that owns a business. That's one of the things that a lot of people don't do. So I shared this video in our private Facebook group. And the funny part about it is that there are a lot of people in that private Facebook group that are crafters. And I'm not talking about they craft and then they make a little money here and there. I'm talking about they're die-hard crafters. But here's the sad part about it. Those 5,000, almost 6,000 people that are in that group, and I hope you guys are listening to me because I shared this. You are struggling financially due to a lack of understanding. Also, you're struggling financially due to a lack of pride. I asked a question in that group, and I asked simply, I said, hey, are you doing this for fun? Are you doing it as what I asked? Are you doing this for fun? Are you doing it as like a side hustle sometimes, basically, or are you doing it to make money? And everybody, except for one person, because I know that person's a business owner, everybody said that, hey, I'm just passing time. I'm just having fun. Oh, the joy, the joy or the profit is in making other people happy. Bull dookie. Because check this out. You're either going to work a job until you leave this earth for somebody else, or you're going to learn how to build something for yourself. You're going to struggle, and this is me too. I had to understand this. You're going to struggle because you're trying to play the game with the rules that they've given you, or you're going to understand and learn the real rules. There's nothing wrong with having fun. There's nothing wrong with having joy in crafting and making people happy. And there's also nothing wrong with making money. See, your bills say that you need money. Your mortgage or your rent says that you need money. Your car note or your car insurance says that you need money. Your grocery bill says you need money. Your light bill, your water bill, your cell phone bill. All those things say that you need money. Yet, the joy of making people happy, guys, listen, you have a skill set. You can do something. You can enjoy yourself and make more money. But it has to be structured at some point. It has to have and follow some type of structure. The reason why people run away from that B word, which is business, is because you think that now it's no longer going to be fun. But I don't know about you, but we've been in business for the last almost 11 years, coming up on 11 years. And I have fun making money. I have fun knowing that we don't have to struggle. Yes, it's hard work. Yes, anything that we do that's worth having is going to take some work. But it's rewarding because we've learned how to feed ourselves. Once again, I'm not telling you to leave your job. If you have a job, be thankful for your job. Just don't be satisfied. Every job in this society has a salary cap, it has a ceiling. A business doesn't have a ceiling. Recently saw someone comment on a post that I made, and they said that all they needed was an extra $1,000 a month. I'm going to ask you a question. First of all, we talk about how much money, or should I say, some craft content creators talk about how much money they can help you make. And they talk about that famous six-figure comment, right? Six figures is only $8,300 a month. Now, we're not talking about after being taxed. This is before being taxed. So if you're on a job and you're making exactly $100,000 a year, you're only making $8,300 a month. And you're probably saying, well, Eric, don't be so coy. $8,300 a month is a lot. Well, most people are in a 30% tax bracket after everything, right? You're going to be paying 30% in taxes, state, federal, half of your employment taxes. It's going to be anywhere between 25 to 33% in taxes. So now that $100,000 lifestyle that you said that you have just went down to $75,000 a year. Not to include all of your expenses. That's called overhead. And what you have left over is what's called your cash flow. So little did you know that even as you work a job and operate a household, organize and run a family, you're already running a business. Wrap your head around that. What we do here at the Blank Spot is we do our best to share as much valuable information as we can at an affordable cost. It's going to cost. It's going to cost to really get this information, not because the information costs money, but you're investing in us and the experience that we have. I just shifted, guys. I want you to understand what I just did. I just shifted. Nothing is free. Not even the job that you attend every day, or 5 days a week, or 4 days a week, whatever your schedule is. It costs you money to go to work. And if you don't believe me, let me break it down to you. You had to have transportation to get to work, whether you have a car or whether you have a bus ticket or a rail pass or whatever, wherever you're living. It costs money to get to work. They're not paying you to go to work. They're paying you to be at work. It costs money to eat. It costs money to have the clothes that's required for your job. All that is not reimbursable. And for years, with all the tax law changes, for years, people had been able to write things off. And then all of a sudden, they took that away from the so-called middle class. They took that away from people just like you and me, common, normal, everyday people, that we can't use those items for a regular job, write those things off and lower our taxes. But we still go to work because we have created those bills. We've created debt. We've created a family. We've created responsibilities. And our bills, believe it or not, dictate how much we work. You don't have to agree with me. Check out your bank account. And this is not a flex or any reason to make you feel bad, but check out your bank account. And if your bank account cannot carry you for a full year, some people can't go for a full month or a full 6 months. If the money that you have set aside in savings, or if you don't have a savings, if you cannot go without 1 month of working without going into some financial stress or difficulty, then there's a problem. And what I'm saying is, and also asking you, is are you looking for a solution to your problem? Or are you looking to bend somebody's ear so you can complain about all the economy's bad, all the current administration, all the this, all the that? You know what? I'm not going to say that had we had a different person in charge of the country, that things would have been so much better. Things definitely would have been different. But what I'm saying is that whoever's in the hot seat, whoever's in that seat, they are not for you. And the sooner we get that in our heads, the sooner we start to understand that the way that this country is, and the way that this country is built, and the way that this country runs is not benefiting us if we don't understand one word, the one word that we don't like. That's capitalism. Capitalism is how this country was built and how this country runs and continues to operate. The people who are ignorant about business, money, finances, taxes, they're being capitalized on. And the people who understand or have enough money to pay people to fight for them in their corner, they're the ones who are excelling, in this economy and in this country. That's how it's always been. It's not about Democrat or Republican or just being independent. It's not about that. It's about the way the people that are in charge of this country are running this country. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you understand the importance of having another source of money coming in. You can call it, like I said, what you want to. You can call it a side hustle, a side gig, a side job. But now once you get structured and once you understand that I have another opportunity on the side. I have a job and now I have a business. With those two together, I just created an opportunity to lower my taxable income. And lowering my taxable income just allowed me to keep more of my money. I know this is a very boring conversation. I know this is a very boring live. This live won't get shared. It won't be seen by the people who need to see it. I understand that. And this probably won't even change anybody's minds. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop sharing this information. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to stop planting seeds, because eventually somebody's going to hear this. They're going to say, hey, you know what? That light bulb goes off. And they say, you know what? I need to do something different. One of the best things that you can do for yourself in this world specifically this country, is to start a small business, a home-based business, something part-time, something that you can do already. And then once you understand and learn the implications of the tax system, you can thrive in this country. People are waiting for the government to come to their assistance. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, some of you were not, some of you may not have been directly affected by the SNAP benefits, by the government shutdown, number one. Some of you may have not been directly affected or may think that you weren't directly affected by the government shutdown. That could have been me, because I could have been working a government contract, or I could have been a GS employee. That could have been my wife still in the government system by the SNAP benefits being paused, because some people just didn't care. It's bottom line. This is not a socialist system. This is not a socialist economy. You don't get to say we have 10 cows and 9 people don't have any cows. You don't get to say I'm going to take 1 cow and give a cow to each of those 9 people so everybody now has a cow. That's the thinking that Americans have, that we should all get together, hold hands, kumbaya, and harmonize. There's nothing wrong with helping each other out. However, why are you harmonizing and only praying without taking any action? Imagine understanding how this system works, learning to play the game the way it's supposed to be played. Now you can get together and hold hands and kumbaya. So you can't have one without the other. Not benefit. Everybody was affected by the government shutdown, from the individual who may have been benefits of SNAP, to the individuals who were government employees whose payments were paused. That goes back to what I was saying. If you don't have at least 30 days worth of money, right, in your account, people are just one missed paycheck away from losing everything. To the business owners and also the non-business owners, because here's what's happening. When people are forced to steal or fight for survival, it affects everyone. But if you understand that you have your own piece of land, you have your own economic responsibility for your household. If you understand that, then you can start to plan. You can do a financial plan. You can do a business plan. You can talk about how I just need this much more money to run my household, my economic area. And then I can set my kids up and set my children's children up, and I can leave a legacy or build one. Instead, our bills have us scrambling to get on the interstate, to go punch that clock, to go have a fake conversation with people that we don't like. And some people who don't like us, to deal with management and human resources who are just waiting for an opportunity to let you go because, of course, the company wants to save money. Meanwhile, you can be building something for yourself. So let's shift the conversation. Another reason why you should start a business on the side, and when I say on the side, to include your job, is because when you do retire from that job, you're going to lose a substantial amount of your income. Anywhere between 40 to 50% of your income is going to be gone. But you've created a lifestyle. Hopefully you'll have all your debt paid off, but not likely, because everybody's not going to be disciplined enough to do that. Some people are still taking second mortgages on their home. Speaking of second mortgages, they're talking about 50-year mortgage, man. Do y'all see what's going on? But having a business on the side can replace that income and boost that income and surpass that income. You said, well, man, you know what? All you're talking about is money. I'm talking about the same thing they talking about. Because I don't know anybody who does not need that type of resource to survive, at the least to survive in this country. If money is not important, then why do we have to pay for stuff? We make all the excuses as to why we won't get started, or as to why we're going to start next week, next month, next year, or when I retire. I'm telling you to take that excuse that you're making and make it the reason why you need to understand the importance of getting started today. We created a membership. This membership is called Build with TBS. TBS stands for the blank spot. What we do in that membership is we meet every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do a live Zoom training. Okay? That training is not going to take place on these platforms because we can't control these platforms. And that's why there's not going to be a lot of participation, because it's not on Facebook or YouTube or TikTok or even Instagram, because we are comfortable with learning the way that we want to learn. You can't control how you become wealthy, whether it's in dollars or if it's in cents. You can't control that. You have to get the information how it's given. So we have every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a Zoom training where we talk about different business aspects. If you're a person that works at night and you can't attend live trainings, it's a membership. So you have a educational platform. You'll be able to watch those replays at your own pace. We also talk about business building, entities, business credit, business finances, and financial planning. We talk about how to correctly and more effectively and efficiently build your business. There's a community chat where you can dialogue with other business owners or potential business owners. You can bounce your ideas off of each other. There's downloads that you can get for design. There's downloads for tax deductions, different downloads that's going to be beneficial to you as a business owner. Listen, guys, I'm not talking about learning how to make a cup or craft a box. You can do that on your own. We're going to be talking about some of those things. We're going to be sharing some videos with some of those things. If that's the only thing that's grabbing your attention, then this call, this live, is not going to ever be for you. Until you shift your mindset, until you shift the way that you think about what a business is. Because here's the thing, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. And the only way that you're going to successfully keep the money that you make is to learn the rules. And the rules have everything to do with the tax system, record keeping, tax deductions. The benefits of being a business owner are great. Is it work? Absolutely, especially if you're a solopreneur. If you're a single entrepreneur, if you're a single, just a couple of you, if you're small business, it's work. It's supposed to be work. This thing that I'm talking about is not coming to you disguised as a vacation. This is literally overalls. It is work, but it's worth it. Or you can try to hit the lottery. You can go to the casino and try to hit the jackpot. The idea behind what I'm talking about is an opportunity for you to understand how even if you don't have a successful year in business, learning how to write off your expenses and lower your taxable income can save you a significant amount of money, because ultimately money saved is money made. Now, I told you guys that this was going to be a different conversation. At the end of the day, I want you guys to go to the description, and I want you to look at the description, and I want you to think about this. Read what the description says and how you can actually participate. Absolutely beneficial. You don't have to be there. It's a benefit to you if it's live, because you can ask questions during the live. But guess what? That's why we have the chat community. The chat community allows you, if you're not able to be there, to check in and ask questions. But I think the icing on top of that is that you get 2 30-minute one-on-one sessions with us. You get to schedule it. You get 2 30-minute one-on-one sessions with us to talk about whatever you want to talk about. And that helps you to grow and build your opportunity. Once again, instead of us making excuses as to why we cannot, we need to think about why we should. We all have things to do. We all have certain obligations, but that should not stop us from improving ourselves, enhancing ourselves, and being better for ourselves. It shouldn't. So check us out. The name of the membership is Build with TBS. You can find it on our website at theblanksspot.com. If you're watching us from another platform, just go to the link in the description and you can find us there. You'll see what the description is for that membership. You'll be able to see what it all entails, how it can benefit you, and how you can actually, improve yourselves. The alternative is to keep on doing what you're doing and to hope and pray, which is nothing, and to hope and pray that things change. But whether you believe in God, whether you read the Bible, one thing is true: faith without works is dead. So thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate you. Make sure you lock into our social medias. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the bell to be notified when we go live. Watch this video again. Maybe you missed something. Maybe something that I said can encourage you to do something a little bit different. Maybe you joined in the middle and you want to see the whole video. I want you to think about this. Nobody's going to come and save you. But if you have the tools, if you're equipped and you have the tools in your tool bag, you can definitely save yourself. Like I always say, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. I'll see each and every one of you guys at the top, because there's entirely too many people struggling at the bottom. Peace.